The forest was thick with mist as four friends, Maya, Ben, Olivia, and Tyler, followed a faded trail deeper into the unknown. Their laughter faded as the trees closed in, muffling the outside world. Suddenly, the path opened to reveal a weathered cabin, its windows black and empty, roof sagging beneath layers of moss. "This must be it," Ben whispered, voice trembling with anticipation. The door creaked open at the slightest touch, revealing a shadowy interior. Dust danced in shafts of dying light. Inside, the air was heavy, tinged with the scent of rot and something metallic. On the mantel, a cracked photograph showed a family with hollow eyes. Maya shivered, feeling watched. As Olivia explored, she found strange symbols carved into the floorboards. Tyler joked nervously, but his voice echoed too loudly in the silence. Suddenly, a chill swept through the room. The door slammed shut behind them. The cabin seemed to breathe. Goosebumps prickled their skin. "Did you hear that?" Maya whispered, heart pounding. A soft, dragging sound came from the hallway. They weren't alone. The darkness pressed in, and the friends realized the stories about the haunted cabin might be true. After fleeing the manor's rotting halls, Lauren and Marcus clung to the fragile hope that they'd left the nightmare behind. But back in the city, shadows stretched too long and cold air gathered in every corner of their apartments. Lauren's phone flickered with static at midnight, emitting faint whispers that sent chills down her spine. Marcus discovered muddy footprints leading from his window directly to his bed, as if something had crept inside unseen. They tried to rationalize it, nightmares, stress, exhaustion, but deep down, both knew the terrifying truth. One night, as they called each other in panic, a voice, cold, wet, and whispering, broke through their phones, repeating the same guttural phrase they had heard in the manor's cellar. Dread settled like a heavy fog. The next day, Lauren's reflection in the mirror blinked out of sync, her eyes hollow and distant, while Marcus's apartment reeked of decaying earth and damp wood. Desperate for answers, they met in a dim cafe, but the air around them grew thick and suffocating. The lights flickered violently, and the temperature plummeted. Suddenly, a shadowy figure materialized behind them, its eyes hollow voids, its mouth stretched in a silent, eternal scream. Frozen in terror, they realized too late. The manor's curse hadn't just followed them home. It had never truly let them go. The flashlight beams flickered as the group pressed deeper into the hospital's forbidden wing. Their breaths formed clouds in the frigid air, footsteps echoing along cracked tiles. Suddenly, Mia whispered, "Look." At the end of the corridor, a rusted door stood ajar, a faint, unnatural glow spilling from within. Heart pounding, Ethan pushed it open. The room was a shrine of horror. Walls plastered with old patient photos, some scratched out, candles melted into grotesque shapes, and in the center, a decaying hospital bed surrounded by children's toys, their faces twisted with age. The air thickened, heavy with sorrow and rage. The temperature plummeted. A shadowy figure rose from the bed, its hollow eyes locking onto the intruders. The group froze as the ghostly child's voice echoed, "Why did you leave me here?" Toys began to tremble, rolling across the floor. The door slammed shut. Panic set in. Ethan shouted, "We're here to help!" The entity shrieked, unleashing a gust of icy wind. The candles flared, revealing a hidden passage behind the bed. With no other choice, the group dove through, escaping the lair. Please like and subscribe to my channel.
The attic door groaned open, revealing the dust-choked air and the row of porcelain dolls, their glassy eyes glinting eerily in the pale moonlight. Anna's breath hitched as a sudden chill swept through the cramped space, the temperature dropping sharply. The old house trembled faintly, and the dolls' heads turned slowly in unison, their vacant stares locking onto her. Clutching the faded diary she had discovered days before, Anna's fingers trembled as she flipped to the final entry, a detailed description of a ritual designed to trap a vengeful spirit inside the dolls forever. The floorboards creaked beneath her feet as she began to read the incantation aloud, her voice barely steady. Suddenly, the doll's porcelain lips parted, releasing a chorus of tortured whispers that echoed off the attic walls. Shadows twisted and swirled, coalescing into the ghostly outline of a woman, her ancestor, consumed by rage and sorrow. Anna's heart pounded wildly as she pressed on, finishing the ritual. A blinding light filled the attic, and the dolls shattered into countless fragments, their shards spinning weightlessly before falling silent to the floor. The spirit's anguished scream faded into a profound stillness. Exhausted, Anna collapsed, relief washing over her as the attic's oppressive curse lifted at last. As dawn's first light crept through the grimy window, she vowed never to return to that haunted place. Please like and subscribe to my channel.
Lightning split the sky as thunder rattled the ancient windows of Ravenwood Manor. Each storm brought whispers through the halls, chilling the bones of anyone inside. Tonight, the power flickered, plunging the manor into complete darkness. Sarah, clutching her flickering lantern, crept cautiously along the creaking floorboards. Shadows twisted and danced on the faded, peeling wallpaper, and the air reeked of damp earth and long-forgotten secrets. Suddenly, a cold, clammy hand brushed her shoulder. She spun around. No one was there. The grandfather clock struck midnight, its deep chimes echoing through the empty, hollow rooms. From the grand staircase, translucent figures began to materialize, their faces twisted in silent agony and despair. Sarah's breath caught as she recognized the portrait on the wall. One of the ghosts was her ancestor, lost in a violent storm a century ago. The spirits wailed, their sorrowful cries rising with the howling wind outside. As the storm raged on, secrets long buried clawed their way to the surface, demanding to be heard and acknowledged. The walls trembled as if the manor itself was alive with anguish. Sarah realized she was not alone, and perhaps never truly had been. The haunting was real, and the past refused to stay buried. Please like and subscribe to my channel. The clock struck midnight as Anna bolted the door, her breath clouding in the cold, haunted silence. The doll's glassy eyes glowed crimson from the shadows, its porcelain fingers twitching with unnatural life. Suddenly, the lights flickered and died, plunging the room into darkness. Anna's flashlight trembled in her grip as she caught a glimpse of the doll crawling toward her, its movements jerky, inhuman. She screamed, but the sound was swallowed by a chilling whisper. "You can't escape me now." Books flew from shelves, windows rattled violently, and the air thickened with a suffocating dread that pressed against her chest. The doll leapt, latching onto Anna's arm with a strength that belied its tiny size. Desperate, Anna hurled it into the fireplace, but flames only seemed to feed its fury. The doll emerged, face cracked, smile widening impossibly, eyes burning brighter than before. With nowhere left to run, Anna recited the forbidden chant she'd found, her voice trembling with fear and determination. The doll shrieked, twisting in agony, its body contorting in unnatural ways, until with a final ear-splitting scream, it shattered into ash that scattered across the floor. Anna collapsed, sobbing, as the first light of dawn crept through the window, bringing a fragile peace. Please like and subscribe to my channel.
The clock struck 3:07 a.m. when the shadow returned. It slipped through the hallway, darker than the moonless sky outside, its edges rippling with a cold that chilled the family to the bone. Each night, the visitor grew bolder, its presence more suffocating. Doors creaked open on their own, icy breaths fogged the mirrors, and whispers echoed through the walls like distant screams. That night, the youngest, Lily, awoke to the sound of her name rasped from the darkness. Paralyzed with fear, she watched a hand, long, thin, impossibly black, slide from beneath her bed. Her scream shattered the silence, and the family rushed in, only to find deep scratches gouged into the floorboards, as if something desperate had clawed its way out. Shadows clung to every corner, refusing to fade with the morning sun. The next night, the visitor left a chilling message on the bathroom mirror. "You can't hide." The family huddled together, trembling, but the shadow always found them, lurking just beyond sight. Every night it grew stronger, hungrier, feeding on their fear. The house itself seemed to breathe with malevolence, trapping them in a nightmare with no escape. Will they survive another night? If you want more chilling tales, please like and subscribe to my channel.